Hello. I'm here. And, bit late. I'm here. So, today's different because today we are going to do some game development. As, I am taking part in a games jam. Once more. The final game jam I did for this, I'll actually bring it up. So the one I am doing is this one. I'm doing the Pirate Software Games Jam. I'm not logged in, so that's why it's asking to join Jam. That's fine. How there are 2 submissions already. Who knows? Oh well. Because it only started today and it's 2 weeks long. So I've done this before. And let's see, so this was my first one, which was kind of a platformer. It was okay. There was no sound. I think there was sound to it. I think I put some audio. Yeah, I put some random audio onto it. And then obviously you can do this. The funny thing is I didn't lock you when you thingy, so basically it's just, yeah. Skip all that and just do that. I didn't really give you any instructions and stuff to kind of do anything. You get the shadow. And that was essentially it. Though I did have another thing with this, which was you needed to get up here. And up here you needed to use like keys and stuff. That was my first one. And the other one I made was, I'm not sure if I'll be able to find it. Was it Final Arrest? I think it was the Final Arrest. Ah, there it is. So I failed to actually get this one in because I forgot completely how to upload it to itch. So again, I've got the music, though the music actually stops playing at some point. I've got controls and everything. Yeah, mouse attack, tab to pause and controls. So I actually decided to put in the pause thing on this one. So, loud warning. So yeah, so you end up like this, and it's like, and I'll give you a very slow walk. And then you can click tab and just break some rocks. Yeah. And then you get to the end of it, and then you think it's basically a walking sim more than anything. So this time, I do want to do something else. Yeah. Pew. Because if I go back, so the theme is only one. So I have got a few thoughts, because obviously it says there are many ways to interpret in a lot of different ways. Maybe only having a single item, maybe you only have one copy of something, maybe only a single life, a party with one person in it, all kinds of things. So there's lots of things I can do with it. For me, there are a few things I can do. Just a few. Oh, crap, okay. So, one idea I've got is maybe a single button. I'm drawing. What's this doing? Oh. For some reason it has decided no longer. There we go. Look area. Screen. 2, thank you. There we go. It's working again. Right, so back to where I was. So the one idea I had was basically a single button. So maybe like use the space bar. That could be an idea. So every kind of, you've got like the dinosaur game where you got the obstacles. Everyone knows this. You can make like a really simple one on that. You've only got one thing and basically you're just trying to get as far as you can. Simple. I could make that. Just need what? A couple of enemies. What am I trying to write here? Enemies. I can spell. Yeah. Pro tag. Yeah. And score. That is very basic and very simple. And it all revolves around the one button. Could do it that way. Move this on my screen, I don't know. It might be right back. It's something 2 seconds. Back. I might endeavour to do all the things. It's what's happened with that. Oh, I'll fix it later. So, these up. So that's one way anyway. That's one thought that I came up with it. I think my brother kind of gave me that idea. The other one I thought of was maybe like a single item, like you were saying, because I was thinking that, oh, maybe just do like a run with like, at the start of the run, you've got a list of items that you've got to kind of do something with. I'm not sure what. Another thing is like you got to get something from A to B without breaking it. That's another way. Yeah. But I wanted to use variables in this. So it's like, just tell, I mean, I'm not that great of a coder, so the code's not going to be superb. So I'm just thinking that I would not mind. I'm also thinking now I need to change this tip nib. So like maybe like you've got to get similar to like the first option. You get one item, maybe you could have it. So like you could have boomerang or sword. And then you're basically just running levels, see how far you can get. And each level you get a new list of items and you gotta select one. You can only have that one for the next level. Not sure how I do randomization, because I don't know how to do that. So I might need to have a look at that if I was doing randomization. And then there's what? Oh, I suppose I think I had another thought. Well, another thought I had was like a hallway. And basically the whole thing is to get out. And if you go this way, you can go this way. Yeah, that is literally all it is. Just gonna walk from one side to the other. And I will then count how many times you go left and how many times you go right. I could also count the order. So, say I put a static of non-choices 0, and then left is 1, and right is 2. So if you haven't moved either way, then obviously it counts as a 0. And then basically after X turns, you get to the exit. But I don't know how that's only one. Or, just thinking, could also have the room be that you're going down the room, or you start here. And basically you get to choose one direction, so you get to choose either left or right. Your character just goes in that one direction from then on. And basically you can then use a single button to kind of stop. That's it. It's either stop or start. So stop, start. And then it'll be basically obstacles. Exit. So depending on if you go left or right at the start, you can either basically finish the level immediately. So there can only be one direction you choose to go. And the obstacles basically might have like the spike pits or razor saws on the wall. And basically you just need to use the spacebar maybe to kind of stop your character and start your character. So then they don't get hit. So if you get hit, So you only get one. If you lose it, it can be game over. That's not bad. And the final idea that I had was essentially a bunch of mini games. So maybe it'd be like, or actually, the first one I had, there was actually two. So the first one I had was basically, you have a list. Because there can only be one. So basically, you have a list. It's got a photo on it, and it's got some details on the list. And in front of you, there are two people. One is an imposter. The other one, yeah, is the real one. So basically you go through rounds. In each round, you get a score based on how many people saved. So for each imposter, you could say you lose 2. Then obviously you get 1 for each real person, because obviously a real person only counts as 1 anyway. But you lose 2, because obviously the imposter doesn't count. Technically, you don't gain anything. So if you have 13 that you've currently served, you get the imposter. You will then go down to 11. It's not a bad idea. And you have to figure it out based on basically the sprites they've got and the descriptions of the person. Because the imposters are not 100%. So you can go. Then I could do a bunch of these rounds. I'm actually liking this one. So you can do a bunch of the rounds. So you can have like, yeah. So you can start with like 0 people in your bunker. Say that you're in a bunker. Yeah, I don't know, government bunker we'll call it, yeah. Why do you have the details? Yeah, these could be important people. Who knows? Yeah, and these people can just come in. You then have to decide, okay, which one is the real one? Which one's a fake? Then I can have it, so then you have one that has just like some really small, slightly different, like basically like this one has a watch on it, but on the photo they don't have a watch, and it's just like, okay, so you're clearly not it. But then I could also have it as a double bluff, where it's like, okay, this guy doesn't have a watch, but this guy has blue. Yeah. Yeah. And the actual guy's hair is meant to be brown. Yeah. But on this, it just shows you brown hair with a no watch. So I like this idea. This idea might be the one I go back to. And basically, just keep going until basically you run out of room. So basically, there's a total of 100 people. And if you hit... So I could say that you start off with, I don't know, 10 people. And if you hit 0, you lose. Because basically your base is now overrun with imposters. And your goal is to actually get 100 people in your base. I'm not sure how to do randomization. I don't think I'd be able to do randomization, though I wouldn't be able to do at least a straight run of the game. And the final idea I had, the absolutely final one. Just start one off. So the absolute final idea I've got could work. Is essentially a bunch of minigames. So, like the first one, basically, it would be a spot the difference. So, you have two characters. And then you've got to pick a difference. Oh, there's two images and you just gotta pick a difference on it. So like spot the difference. Yeah, there's only one difference and you gotta spot it. And then you can do another mini game, which would just be the one bar, so the space bar. Another thing I thought of was just making a game with a MacGuffin. Yeah, it's like, this is the last remaining. It is the last artifact that you cannot look at, so it's basically just constantly in a bag. Yeah. And your job is just to get it from A to B. There you could also go to C. What else can I do? No distractions. Could have it all set in a single room. That seems interesting. Yeah, single room. Single guy. Yeah, you're basically just rummaging around this house. Finding secrets. Now this will go on for 10 minutes. Or I could give you a list of things to find. You gotta find a ball. Yeah. Pin. Skittle. I don't know, what else could you find? racket, maybe. Coins. Butterfly. Cat. And then I can have it so then there's stuff in this room. And I can use the mouse, and if you click on the mouse, you'll move things. And that was actually another one for the minigame as well. So I was going to make like a sound-based one. So basically there is going to be like a note, and then you've got 4 items all playing a different note as well. And you just gotta guess what. You basically hear all the sounds, and you basically just have it so you press a number maybe. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. What one you think it is? That's a good way to do it. I like how these are all like small little games that you can play. So I might give you like 3 rounds. If I did this, you could have 3 rounds of 3 games. So if I made it random, you could have find X items. Yeah. Play a card. Spot the difference. There's a lot of ideas. I am leaning more towards this one. I like the idea that you eventually gotta get more, and basically because I can just have it as like a slice demo, basically I'll just do level 1, where basically your goal is just like get 50 people in your base. Not even 50, I could just make it like 25 maybe. Because basically, and then basically I'll just do it so then I have a bunch of my sprite kind of characters. And then I'll just make some like interchangeable parts that I can just take on and off. And I won't even make them walk, I'll just kind of do like a bobbing animation. So there's like when they walk off, it's just like yeah, because that'd be so easy to do, I think. Because what do I need for that one? I need to make a list of characters. And then if I'm making it just like essentially a slice, I can just have it so then it loops maybe. And gens based on the So I do like the idea. I do think it's doable, and it hits my strength mainly, which is less coding and moderating. So if I just kind of ignore the random generated part of this, I should be able to do it. Because I'd need to figure out how to do randomly generated. I know how to do variables. Variables, if we can spell. Resources. What else do I need for this? Oh yeah, tally. Then obviously, if a character goes in that is a 1, or if the correct character goes in, you get, you know, the +1. And then if an incorrect goes in, you get -2 for the first round. And then it obviously gets harder with each level. I'm liking it. But is it really what I want to go for? Because I really want to do like a variable thing. I'm thinking. Always thinking. I could. Could I? I could. This is why game dev is hard. My original idea when I first heard them, because he does it, is he basically randomly selected. So I did a random 10 pick from his chat online, and then made you do a 5v5, which then became a 1v1. The thing. So when I heard it, there was loops, and only one. And I was happy with both of these. And there's also one like biology, and I was just like, maybe not that one, please. So I also like the idea of just having like one spray room. You just gotta get your character from one end to the other. And if I incorporate the one button, then you could have it so like you are selecting what button/skill you get. So I could give, so basically I could assign an ability to like the WSAD. And that'll help you basically, that's basically what you got to get you across that room to the next room. So, say you had like again the spike pit, yeah, the razor. I could give you basically the maybe block, stop and start. What other ones could I give you? Jump. And I don't know, what's a good last one maybe? A mystery fourth one. So basically you would enter an unknown dungeon armored with only one move skill. So basically some things can be blocked. So basically the spikes, you need either stop start or jump. The razor can be blocked. I don't know what the last one is. I don't know. Is warp. Run. Run. I think run's a good one. Basically, our guy walks. So instead of run, I would say speed up / down. And that's a really nice one. Because you can get past all of these with these. That's the idea. You get 2 hits per run. So you better hope that you're not unlucky. And basically each room gives you one of these, but you cannot use the last one you had. So you've only got one option. So your character will always move forward. So the character is on auto, except if you have stop and start. If you have stop or start, they'll only go. Well, everyone goes at constant speed. So say speed's 10. Everyone's going at 10 except anyone who has speed up and speed down, which can make it go down to, so basically 5, 10, and 15. So crawl, walk, and run. I think it's not bad, is it? Then, but I need one singular idea. What is the one thought I have? That I want to make something with a variable. Similar to the last one I made. So the last one I made, which was so like this one I made. So sorry, loudness. I assume that's come through anyway. Oh, is my desktop actually being... Oh no, you're not hearing desktop audio, never mind. One called web audio, I suppose I can put that one on. Yeah. So, yeah. With this one, 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 I kept blipping. Because apparently it kept showing, well, it kept doing all of my web browsers, even though so yeah, we're not going to have volume anyway. That's fine. So yeah, so the variable in this was you walk across, and then I believe there was 3 items in which to grab. The first one, which is right here. So if I walk up, you'll see little rabbit. Little rabbit. So if you hit the attack button, bloop, you'll grab it. And if I hit tab, there you go, you can see it. See it there, there you go, you've got one of the items. And at the end of this, you'd then get a different visual. It was only visual that you get right at the end. So basically these items will be placed onto either onto the grave right at the end. I kind of want to do something similar to that. So like you have variable, the variable then changes the end outcome. Which actually brings me back to the room. Where is the room? Where's the room? There's the room. So the room is not a bad idea for doing variables with. So, because I could go like left alone. And I can spell again. It's basically you're a bit of a snooper. You like snooping around, and just find stuff in rooms. Another one as well was basically just having a kind of like a bunch of dots, and basically you just had to come along as like the beefy one with the knife and fork. Now you've got the other ones. And another idea, similar to the multi thing, but again I think it relies on making a random generator. Or basically making it player choice actually. Yeah, there's player choice. So basically you can start with 100 people. And you basically have to select how many you want on each. Because the thing is, you actually want as many to survive. But you only need one, but only have one at the end. And I would really like it if I made it so that right at the end there are 3 choices. You have to pick one. You've only got like 5 characters left, so basically you put 2 on each except for 1, and all the 2s are wrong, so you go through and you're hoping it's the last dot, only to find out there's like 3 more options. So it's like multi-layered, there can only be one, because you only can have one person survive right at the end, but there is only one correct door in each round. And to be fair, I could have hints as well. Like next to each door, there's like a little riddle or hint of some kind. And basically you just gotta get one person to the end. So you might actually want to go bold and have like 34 and 33s. Yeah. Keep doing that way. Then you've also got to remember that you might run the risk of being too short near the end. And then there's no swaps. No backs is straight up. I am. Is there anything else I can think of which would be nice to do? What else would be nice to do? So many options. I'll actually be right back in a second. Had to close the windows because otherwise the big insects decide to come in. Or snails. For some reason snails absolutely love coming inside. So what is the last thing? Have I got a last thing? I did like the power-up thing. I also really did like the One Direction. But I've kind of incorporated that One Direction with the one item and changed it into basically a one button kind of full thing. Really do like that idea, and I like the door idea, and I like the other ideas. Which one is easier to do though? I have until the 30th, because basically the last day will be spent basically doing all the final bits and uploading it, because it ends on the 31st. I think it ends about 4 o'clock for me, UK time. Yeah. I believe it's about 4. Literally just have a look. Ends in 13 days, 15 hours and 21 minutes. So this is actually my time, I think. Because it was roughly about 2 p.m. today that it opened to, yeah. So yeah, so I've got until 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock on the 31st of July to submit this. There are currently 3,654 people involved. What? What random stuff? Yes. So it must include the game's design document, must run in browser. If you need a team, no AI generated, nothing. Adults, no illicit drugs. And basically, I've got anything I use has to be, yeah, commercial use licenses. So yeah. It must run. So yeah, so it says use playability, but I'll be honest. I've always kind of went a bit more for this. Obviously, I had an issue on this one that I made, where basically you had a simple jump, and you're meant to be able to press Alt. So get through this. Basically, hold Shift and now jump. So Shift summons my shadow. I think use Alt. If I press Alt, it brings up the little sidebar over there. Whenever I press the jump button, press Control Shift, and then I can actually get my full jump. Normal jump, full jump. So I need to make sure I don't do that again. That was the first one I did. So I'm thinking, which is the easiest one to do? So what have I got? So I've got Imposter, we'll call it. Which is basically just get to 100. Then we've got mini games. Yeah, so like, yeah, spot the difference. Spot the diff. Yeah, I don't know what else we had. And then some other ones. We had the only one function. So that is where you had either the block, yeah, stop start, else do we have? We had clear speed. And the last one was what? Jump. What was the last one we got? We had a few. The enemies I don't care about. We have the dolls. The dolls was a decent one. It's kind of combining these two with the one button prompt. And then we had the search the room. Which is just to find items on list. Yeah, so we've got to find the item. And again, what was the last one? You've got imposter, mini games, and the door. Yeah, call it the only door. Yeah. So what is it? Mini play. Only one may survive. I can just have the variable. This just being how many? To be fair, I don't think you use a variable for that. Yeah. What was it? How many left? So basically, I've got it down to 5. I'll say 4 because I don't think I'll go for the mini games. So considering I'm not going for the mini games, clear that. There we go. So yeah, so I got it down to these 3. Oh, sorry. Only took me just over an hour to think of the ideas, but yeah, I think the speaking about it helps a lot. But I think I'll also have to end this stream here. I did start a bit late, but I've also went on a bit later, but not as late as I started. Oops. So yeah, so it's going to be definitely one of these four. I really do like the imposter one. I'm just thinking of the practicality of how my coding skills are and how long I've got. The one I think would be the easiest for this is actually only one function. Because basically all I'm telling it to do is I'm giving basically a function of saying it's like, okay, you have selected this one. This now becomes variable. Either if this variable is 1, then the function works. If it's 0, it doesn't. So, and that'll be basically how I get everything to work. Not the prettiest way, the practical way. Yeah, and they're basically just telling it to, it's like, you just basically just code your normal functions in, so you just code your normal jump function. The block, you just make a block animation with maybe like a little shield. The next easiest one I think to make is, to be fair, they're all quite simple to make more than likely. It's probably not going to be as deviously coded. I think the easiest one in terms of less coding will be the search the room. Because basically it'll just be a case of you click something, it either moves or it doesn't. So it'll be a point and click adventure essentially. And as for the imposter, that's essentially a single click as well. You look at them, you will maybe you could ask questions, like a question, and basically you're trying to find the one. There's only one real one. The other one is not. Not sure which one to do. I'll have a bit more of a think of it. Like I said, I think that'll be it for today's stream. Bit shorter than usual. Started a bit later though. Unfortunately. And I will probably see people who watch on Friday for another stream. I'm carrying on tomorrow with Expedition 33, more than likely. I still need to finish it. I don't think... I don't believe I've got anything left to do side quest-wise on that. I think I've done Minoka, done... what is it? My else. The only one I haven't done is CLs, and that's only because there isn't a prompt to do it. Because I have a feeling that is going to be something that is done at the end or during the end bit. So I might do a bit more grinding, I might continue with the story. We'll see where we're at tomorrow. we'll see where we're at. Because I know where I left off before. We were literally around the corner from finishing the area. When I went back on it. So literally it was like 2 seconds away. Could have probably finished it and then that would have been done. All on stream. Oh well. Oh well. But yes, with this I will bid everyone a good night and see everyone later. So ciao, bye.